Hi, Archana.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing very fine. Let me introduce you to all our viewers, everybody who's been waiting so eagerly to hear you live. Yes, it's indeed a treat for all of us because you've chosen such a relevant topic, the topic of branding and marketing, which everybody is thinking about so much today. So, all of you who are watching us, let me introduce to you why I call this a treat because we have Archana Kochhar herself talking about what she has learned through the journey of her life. Everybody knows her. She is a brand by herself. She's a celebrity fashion designer, and everybody knows this. But I would still like to have the privilege of introducing her to all of you. So, she is a fashion designer who has won so many accolades, not just at the Lakme Fashion Week, but also at the New York Fashion Week. She has dressed people from Kareena Kapoor to Shah Rukh Khan. She is somebody who is innovative. That is, she makes designer silk garments and such beautiful ones, and she does that without killing a single silkworm. She's extremely compassionate. She works closely towards girl child education, and she is a brand ambassador for the Smile Foundation. And I'm so proud that you are working towards the Make in India, which Narendra Modi is heading, and you're closely working with him. It's such a delight to have a all-rounded, beautiful, gorgeous, brilliant personality, Archana Kochhar here. And it's a treat for us because she is talking about branding and marketing. And everybody wants to know about it. She's going to be talking not from the books, but from her own life.
Thank you. Thank you for the lovely introduction.
So we'll start with the questions. So the first question, which I think everybody would be interested in knowing is, people right now, we know what the situation is and everybody wants to make a quick buck. So on a lot of people's mind, it is like, what can I do so that I can get some ROI? So ROI is a trending word and ROI is a buzzword. So I just want you to clarify on the fact that what exactly is branding and what is its relation to the ROI?
So I think this is an amazing question, and it is something that crosses almost every entrepreneur's mind at some point in their lives or the other. And every entrepreneur, at some point in their life wants to become a brand. And when they want to become a brand, they always think about what is going to be my ROI on becoming a brand. So first, let us understand what is a brand. Your logo, your social media, your visuals, your website is not your brand. They're a part of your brand, but your brand is way larger than all this. So your brand is all this plus much more. It is a perception that people have about your company, about you. Then let us understand, before we go into, let us understand what it takes to make a brand. So what it takes to make a brand is it's an investment of a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of brain power, a lot of creativity, and a lot of consistency. So let's assume that you've done all this, and then now you're thinking of what is the return on investment. Now, this is a question that everybody jumps to first. That okay, I want to become a brand, and now I'm going to invest say 100 rupees, and what will be my return on it? Will I make it 200, or will I make it 400, or will it become just 1,000 straight on from 100? So the return on investment of what they have put in. Now this is a very short sighted approach to it. And if someone asks me that, do I have an ROI on the money I spend on branding? I would say no, you don't immediately have any return on investment on what money you spend on branding, because branding is something long term. So if you want, we are living at COVID times, and if you want to make a quick buck, as you said, and you are looking at like an immediate return on investment, then branding is not what you're looking at. Then marketing is what you're looking at, because you can get you can have a marketing scheme in which you say that if you take one of my garments, I will give another garment free, or so you could come up with marketing schemes, and you could advertise about them, and you could get an immediate return on investment on that okay, I spent so much on this marketing scheme, I put it all over the place, and I had a sale of this much. So that is something that's tangible and that's comparable. But branding is something that is not tangible and that's not comparable, because this is something that you build over a period of time, and it is a perception that you're building in the minds of your audience. So but what is the ROI on branding? So what happens is when you do actually end up becoming a brand, what you actually do get is you get credibility in the eyes
Hmm.
of your customer. They consider you as a market leader. What happens when you do become a brand is that a lot of people think of you as a thought leader. And so publications want to write about your opinion on a particular thing that's happening. They want you to come for appearances. People want you to review their products. People want you to be on the board. So there's so many boards that invite you, and like right now I'm on the advisory board of 13 educational institutes. So you people want
Wow.
you to be on the board of the institutes because they think that your opinion matters, and you are the kind of person who has an answer to questions, and your answers matter. So they want you to do that. So what happens is
So
in this
you
whole
can do a lot good, by what you said, it's very, very powerful. I'm sorry I cut you, but I wanted to say this point. Ki somebody as good as you, somebody who has these kind of thoughts, I'm so glad that you walked the mile and became a brand, because today you can influence so many other people by becoming a brand. You can make
Thank you.
such a big difference in the life of the students, because just by marketing, yes, you can make some money, but like you word use the word intangible. What you get out of being a brand, you just can't compare it to an ROI, because you have got the power today to influence so many people, and this can go on for generations. Your thoughts, your what difference you're making to the world, your purpose can be reached out to people because you are a brand today. So thank you for
Yes.
sharing that, and that was indeed very powerful. Yeah, you can continue.
Yes. So the biggest thing, and so the biggest answer to sum it up of yours is that you do not get an immediate ROI on branding because it is something intangible. It's a perception that you're creating in people's minds, and but of course the returns are there, and they're well worth it.
Yes. So I'll just sum it up very quickly. So when you are into branding, it's more than just the money you're investing. You're probably investing all your thoughts. You're thinking about it 24/7. You're living it 24/7, and you're putting all your energy into it. And what you get is slow, but what you get is so much bigger than what you can get through marketing. So you have to think through if you go on the journey of being a brand, because it's not an easy journey. But like Archana just said, it's totally worth it. Now, I have one more question to ask you. I have a lot of friends who have recently started a business, and they do have a lot of money to invest on the business. So they say, हम ये branding पे invest करते हैं. So a lot of people feel that money दे देने से हम brand बन जाते हैं. Do you advise that very early on in a business? Is that a right time to start investing in branding? Or should a person wait? What is the right time for a business to start thinking of becoming a brand?
So basically, it's again a very, very good question. So a lot of people think that let us invest on branding from day one, and let us get hire a PR agency, and let us give them money, and they'll put in our stories everywhere, and we'll become a brand. But it's the answer to that is very simple. No, in the beginning of your business, it is not appropriate to invest on branding, because in the beginning of your business, what is important is that first of all, your business should be coming from a place. The product that you're selling should resonate with your customer. So if it resonates with your customer and their needs, and you're resolving their need, then your customer is your first PR agent, and they are the ones who should be talking about you, and they should be your first PR agent. And you should grow organically, and you should achieve a few milestones in your life on your own. And once you've achieved that, and then you should invest in branding. What happens is, if you invest in branding too early on, then the PR companies will create an image about you which will be larger than life. That's what companies do. They create larger than life images. But when a customer comes to experience it from you, you will not be able to fulfill it, because you are still not larger than life, because you haven't reached there organically. So then the customer will have a negative experience. So actually, all the money that you've invested in PR becomes like negative PR. And secondly, PR is a game that you need to be consistent on it for a lifetime. So you need to make a very conscious decision before you actually get onto that journey, before you embark that journey. Yes, I'm doing this, and I'm doing it for a lifetime.
Beautiful. So, which where you have got across the point that being a brand is a matter of responsibility. It's not such a casual thing. It's not something you can buy. You are taking responsibility for your brand promise. You're taking responsibility for what you are communicating as a brand outside your market. because otherwise the bigger brand you become, and if you're hollow inside, it's all going to fall flat and it's going to be negative publicity. So this is a very
Yes.
important takeaway. Don't be in a hurry to be a brand because it is responsible. So you
Yes.
mentioned PR agencies, and I thought of a question. A lot of people feel that who's the best PR agency to hire? How much should I pay a PR agency? Which PR agency can make me famous? Or today it's about the social media marketeers. They say which social media marketing company can make me famous. So can a PR agency or a social media marketing company make you a brand or make you famous? Does it work like that?
So this is a question that I think a lot of people who embark, once they've embarked the journey of branding, they keep knocking door to door, trying to find the right social media agency to make them famous or to make their brand get established. And so let me bust a few myths about it. So first of all, as far as social media is concerned, I think social media is something that you need to have a language in it which is consistent. So if you go to say agency A in say year, 2 years back, and then you don't like the agency in 6 months, 1 year, or you don't like the results that are coming, then you go to agency B, and then you go to agency C, and if they are handling a social media, then the language keeps changing, and then your consumer or your audience gets confused that what is this brand actually trying to say. So it's you need to be handling social media yourself. What happens when you handle it yourself? You are going to be consistent about it throughout. So I think social media is something that it's if you don't know it, you have to invest your time in learning it. And if you don't have the time to learn it, then it's okay to do it later maybe. But it's something which is very very important to do it yourself. So if you think a social media agency is going to come and they're going to create the four creatives and you're going to get famous and you're going to get likes on, it doesn't work like that. It is a new chapter that has opened up in our life, like a new subject that is introduced. When we studied in school, we had history, geography, science. Now, social media is a new chapter in our lives, and it is a chapter that we have to study whether we like or we don't like, and we have to understand it completely. Now, once we've understood it completely and we know the game properly, then we can say, okay, I will get a social media agency, and they can handle this small part of it, and I will do this small part of it. So, a social
Yes.
media agency at the most can be your assistant in doing something, but after you know the game. So
Yeah.
yeah, so that's very important as far as the social media agencies are concerned. Then I'll bust another myth. A lot of people, they hire social media agencies, and then they say that and when the social media agency or even a PR agency for that matter, let's make it generic. They come for the presentation. They talk so nicely, and they do their own PR in front of you. And when they go, most people think that they are going to become the next. Shah Rukh Khan, the next Narendra Modi, because now the PR agency is going to get them there. So they have this
Yeah.
whole illusion that is created कि बस अब तो मैं famous हो ही जाऊंगा, अब तो ये हो ही जाएगा. And what you don't understand is a social media agency or a PR agency also, for them to do their work, what they need is content. So content is king. Now, if you don't have enough content, then even hiring them is going to get you nowhere, because
Correct.
first you have to
Correct.
invest in getting
Absolutely.
content. Once your content is proper, only then they can do something about it. Nobody's interested in people's mundane activities. They are all interested in extraordinary activities. So first you need to have that extraordinary activity, and then you can say that, oh, you made great noise about it, or oh, you made average noise about it. But first you need to have the content. That's your job. Nobody tells you this when they come and meet you, that listen boss, if you have no content, we're going to deliver nothing anyway. But that's
So
something you
what
need to know. Yes, you were saying something.
So what I understand from this is a PR agency or a marketing agency can amplify what you have
Yes.
communicated to them, can
Yes.
present you in the right places, but the way you want to be presented, what
Yes.
is the fabric of you? What are you wanting? What's your communication? What do you want to tell the audience is something that's your responsibility, because they cannot create it for you. They are
Yes.
representing you somewhere, and you have to know how you want to be represented, and you have to communicate it clearly to them. So here it's a very long journey. Like you want to be super successful like Archana, you got to be a learner always. So she's constantly innovating. She's able to cater to the international markets. She's able to cater to the Indian markets and to anybody who resonates with her value system. And at the same time, she's constantly learning how to present herself in the changing times and how to brand and market herself. So I'm so happy that you shared all of this with us. what is the most challenging part of being a brand? Somebody asked this question, and I thought that it's important because people should know about the difficulties that they have to be ready for when they, like I heard you say, it's a lifelong journey, it's a lifelong commitment. So, what's the most
Yes, so the
difficult part of
biggest
being a
is that when you embark on this journey, so first you should think about it that okay, so I am embarking on this journey now. So it is something that you need to understand. It's going to be an investment of lot of time, of a lot of money,
brand?
of a lot of brain power, of a lot of creativity, and you need to be ready to do this, and you need to be ready to do this consistently, day after day, season after season, and year after year. So what happens is, if suppose you think
Hmm.
that okay, my PR method that I am going to follow, say, is going to be shows, fashion shows. Okay, then you need to be consistent with your shows. So you
Hmm.
need to come up with a show every season. It can't be that you are coming up with a show
Hmm.
every season for 2 years, and then on the third year you say that, oh, I'm not going to do anything for 2 years now. So when you don't do it, then all the
Hmm.
PR that you've done, first of all, goes down the drain, and secondly, it even becomes negative
Hmm.
PR for you, because then people think, oh, now she's not doing shows, means she's not doing any collections, means she's not doing well.
It's not
So
doing well.
yeah,
Yeah.
so it doesn't so if you are going to be thinking that okay, shows is my thing, then that has to be something that you do and you do and you do and you keep doing forever. So this is one example. So it's consistency that's really really important, and you have to keep doing this
Hmm.
forever. So first is your commitment,
Hmm.
and then your
Hmm.
consistency. So it's only
Hmm.
when you are ready for this, you should do it. And another very important factor in all this is that, see, the essence of business is to make money and to make your ends meet and to make sure that your employees are well taken care of and to make sure you're delivering the right product to your customer and your customer goes with a smile on your face. So
Hmm.
the
Hmm.
basic thing at the end of it is you have to make enough money. If you don't make enough money, you will not be able to take care of your employees, and you will not be able to take care of all the needs that your customer needs, besides just the product you're giving, the services that come
Yes.
with it. So first you have to
Hmm.
ensure all that is happening. When all that is happening, and then you have the extra time and the extra money, that is what you have to invest in branding. So it cannot
Hmm.
be
Hmm.
that
Hmm.
you leave, look, these are your essentials, these are your foundations of your business, you can't go away from them. So
Yeah.
when you're doing all that right, then you can say okay, I'm going to build another floor on it, and that can be branding.
Yeah. It's like an icing on the cake. So you have to have
Yeah,
a well baked cake first, and then the branding is an icing on the cake. But
yeah,
having said that, you did say, like you said, a very important thing, that content is the king and consistency came across to me like consistency is the queen. So you
yeah,
have the king and the queen in place in the
yes,
branding,
very good.
and that is when you
Well sum
succeed.
up,
And
well
even
sum up.
when you do not feel like it, even when it
I
is
can't hear
difficult to
you.
you, even when you do not feel like it, and even when it gets difficult for you, you still need to, once you've decided to embark the journey, you can't step back because that will give you negative publicity. So that was
Yes,
one thing we learned from you. So I
yes.
think there has been a lot of things that she has shared with us, and I'm really really thankful to you, because not one thing from this was from the textbook or from something quoted from somewhere. This was direct dil say kind of a thing. So
Thank
I
you.
think it's amazing to have somebody who's such an excellent designer, who's so gorgeous, and who has like the beauty with brains that people talk about. So I'm so glad to be hosting you, and it's been an
Thank you.
absolute delight. I'm Dr. Shweta Iyengar from Entrepreneur Excel, signing off. Thank you once again, Archana, the celebrity fashion designer. It was a delight to be with you. Thanks a lot for all
And
you
I'm so
shared.
happy to be here on Entrepreneur Excel as well. Thank you for having me. And it was amazing talking to you, Dr. Shweta.
Thanks a lot.